It's the verse number 15, yes? And 15, number 15. Okay, bring the blame onto the path. Blame it like, oh, you did me like this, and you did me like that, and says like complain and a lot of this kind of things. But it's very, very. If we cannot to bring into the path, it can give to us obstacles in order to practice compassion. And the verse itself goes like this. If in a large gathering of the people, someone reveals our hidden faults and speak ill of us, to think of him or her, you need to note him as a spiritual guide and bow to him or her respectfully is influence of the French and also in English. Don't say him all the time. It's it maybe. Bow to it respectfully is a Bodhisattva practice. Do you understand these rivalries all the time? In English it's the male and in French it's female, yes? Because of these purposes. No, don't laugh at me. Because my mouth is problems. And the language perspective, French language is the female language, you know. English language is male language. Okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. If in a large gathering of the people, maybe in the middle of people, large or small, or it doesn't matter, two or three, in the middle of the people, someone's reveal our hidden faults. It is like a kind of something, our defect. Maybe hidden, hidden is a fault. I'm not sure. Hidden, like it's a hidden faults. Huh? For example, if I'm in the middle of the people, I say, you are very ugly. Then it's not hidden. You look like quite. It's not hidden. Hidden, you need to do small connections, and then you need to tell towards the guy. Hidden faults, of course, hidden faults, but maybe it's like direct in the middle of the gathering of the peoples. Maybe someone saying direct, coward, ugly, and potatoes. Some in the countries, if you say the potatoes, it's not very nice. And, and the tomatoes. And this kind of, it is not hidden fault, okay? I think it's, you call them Tsung. Tsung is the hidden away. Secret defect. Why is Matthew you use this hidden? Of course we have hidden thoughts, that is the truth. And hidden thoughts maybe is the other one, criticizer, it should to be omniscient. Somehow hidden defect, we never show to in the gatherings. Allah.
Ranfan initiated to use this translation.
Tsung to say. Tsung say.
It's only true that they say it's for
The hidden is maybe they're different. But for example, here is maybe is okay. You come to say is the hidden thoughts, because of course is we have a lot of hidden thoughts. That is the truth. And if someone's reveal means it's like a kind of, that means it's like it's not direct reveal. You know, reveal means it's like already you know on the past, and then you reveal. But it's like a kind of the yesterday to say that to blame means it's like a direct to say you are doing like this, your ugly things. Okay, maybe it's like on the past or something. Past we have very ugly behaviors, we have ugly kind of attitude, we have ugly like kind of motivations. But that is, if you, for example, someone know about that, that is not hidden. And that is like direct, you know each others. For example, yesterday your attitude is ugly. Look, this guy. But it's like, this not hidden. It's you can to see direct. But maybe in your perspective, our own perspective is maybe you can to see hidden, like a fault, because we cannot to recognize our own like secret defects or our own defect. That is the truth. Maybe it's like for ourselves, it's very difficult. But someone's direct to blame or like kind of reveal our hidden faults and like speak really is like ill of the hours, ill of the sickness, kind of like really is like awful things to talk to ours. And that moment, how we can to bear, how we can to like kind of to control. If someone's like, you know, squirreling and like kind of provoke and like kind of say direct to us in the face, says like unpleasant things. And that moment is difficult to practice compassion. If we are angry, and then it's very bad. You know, in the Shantadeva's book says, once we are very strong, angry to the others, angers, negative angers, destroyed a lot of the accumulation merit. Is one incident of the angers can destroy the aeons accumulation of the merit. Therefore, it's the most the negative emotion is negative. One is like the angers. Therefore, if we angry, and this is the opposite of the compassion, it's like a kind of a big obstacle of our liberation path, and also destroyer of our accumulation merit, and therefore it is very, very dangerous. And in this case, what can we do? And here is said nice things, and we should to think about him or her, any kind of, as the spiritual guide. We can just, why we say the spiritual guide? Spiritual guides all the time is digging out our secret defect. That is the truth. And to say it's like you have this kind of defect, that kind of defect, you should to change. You need to like kind of convert into the positive thing. And because the spiritual guide is the really corrector of the ours, we need to accept, we need to acknowledge. And that is the very important. Therefore, it's the example of the spiritual guidance. And like someone's like direct, face to face, in like a kind of to blame or to criticize and to say you have this kind of hidden defect, this kind of you have obvious like defect. All this defect is like this. Maybe we can, without angry, or rather than angry, we can to practice the compassions and to say thank you very much your correction, thank you very much your like kind of telling to me my like a kind of secret defect or my defect, and also it's like really to respectful And like the same as our spiritual guide, it is like if we do like this, that is the Bodhisattva's practice. Even if someone's amid of the crowd of the many peoples, reveals one's faults, and utter harsh word. It is the practice of the Bodhisattvas to bow to that one respectfully with the notion that is the one's spiritual teachership. And that one is like more our spiritual friend, because it's like this person is like a revealer of our own faults. And if we haven't got faults, and then we are enlightenment. For example, Guru Rinpoche, second Buddha, Pema Sambhava said, if our disturbing emotions are all secret defects, is exhausted, that is the meaning of the enlightenment. After we haven't got any job to do something like kind of positive things, or there's no need to strive in order to be enlightenment. Exactly like this. First time we need to dig out our secret defects. For example, Buddha Shakyamuni, he first time told about the suffering. Suffering is the secret defect result. And then it's like, this is like kind of fault. This is like kind of mistake. This is like ugly things. He first time talking about suffering. Oh, suffering, you should to recognize it. And someone said, Buddha, why you are talking about immediately about the suffering? Oh, I have many reasons. Why? Because you recognize your faults, recognize your like kind of mistake, or recognize a poisoned aspect. Then you understand the positive aspects. And for example, you understand this negative or the defect things, and then you think, that is the like kind of negative. Where is the come from? And what kind of source? And you think about the source of this negative things, defect. And then you at the source of this negative thing, defect, you abandon. Then there is no anymore negative defect, negative result. And therefore, second time, he's talking about the origination of the sufferings. And therefore, first time is a little bit talking about the ugly things. And then it's like later you can to shine out. For example, if you go to in Tibet, some great masters, Buddhist masters, they all the time is telling, it is like say I haven't got an education, I'm not really masters, really good masters. All the time they say, they never say, I'm enlightenment, I'm a Buddha, I done that, I have supernatural power, I have this kind of vision, I talk to the God or deities, I punish it like subjugate some the ghosts. Never ever say. They all the time good masters. For example, look, this my teachers. Even he said, I haven't got any reincarnations. When I'm passed away, someone's to make the stupa, offer these things. Never ever do like this. He ordered, his biography is like same as Buddha, but he never ever say like this. In this perspective, it is like a kind of showing, kind of telling to it's like a, individual defects. And also sometimes we need to a little bit kind of criticize ourselves. If someone's criticized without anger, to immediately look. For example, if someone says to me, hey, your behavior is very bad. Look, do you understand? And don't say like this, my behavior is okay. Don't worry for you. Never say like this. Maybe it is the truth. I need to look my behaviors. And what am I talking? What am I doing? And maybe I'm something hurting to the others. For example, generally, if we hurting to others, they absolutely hurting to us. And then there are the disagreement. There never ever there is harmonies. The solidarities is coming. Then it's fighting, argue. It's like kind of hurting each other. And therefore, first time to look at our defects. This is the perfect way of the changing process of the ourself. And therefore, he said it's like someone's criticized to say, it's like someone's criticized to hearing to us say, wow, thank you very much. To say, according to your criticisms, may you never ever get any negative influence. This we need to Bodhisattva prayers. And also your criticism is like my pit instructions. I'm received my qualified teacher of the guide. Thanks, now I recognize my defects. And when I recognize my defects and I can to change, I will slowly become the enlightened man. And this thanks. For example, in Tibet, there's a great master of just Rinpoche. And later he said he appreciated very much his uncle and aunties. Why? Because first times, of course, his aunties, uncles took all the father's belongings, robbed, it's like kind of. And afterwards they compare the mother and daughter and sons become completely poor, slave to the uncle and aunties. Sometimes they beat them, and sometimes doing very torture to them. And he cannot bear that, and then he did something bad things to them, and then certainly he understood the causality, inevitable of the causalities, and then he went to the Buddha's path, and he made the Marvalotsa, and he studied, and then after he appreciated that, because it's like without my uncle and auntie, maybe I cannot become enlightenment in this life. They disturb to me and hurt to me. According that, then I will become enlightened man. And like this, sometimes it's sickness, sometimes criticism, sometimes it's like someone's doing bad things. And it's very important for ours and a great path and bring into this negative circumstances into the positive path. This path is the path of the liberations. And therefore, and in the middle of some peoples to criticize, we need to bring into the path. We should they have the great notion that is the ones our spiritual teacher, and it's not croissant, it's coffee.